everybody. Hello to my lovely students. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. So, anyway, congratulations for for clicking this and downloading this video. I am so proud of you. Okay, we'll talk more later. Okay, so today we will be learning about team. Team, T-H-E-M-E, team. And I really hope that you will enjoy today's lecture because it's really understanding, because it is not what you think it is. I mean, it is, I guess, but there is more to it than what you have been taught. Okay, so before we start, I want you to write 5 things that you found. Sorry, I forgot what I said earlier. Let me repeat. Okay, so before we start, I want you to write down 5 things that you found were interesting, or 5 things that you want to remember for the next 5 years. Okay, for the next 5 years. So do that, please. Be nice, be good students. This is also for your own sake, because you're already investing your time. You might as well remember some of the things that you will be learning. Okay, I know you can do it. Now let's start. So what is a team? So the simplest explanation would be that it's like the moral of the story. It's also the life lesson the author wants you to learn, and it's also the message or meaning. However, these are oversimplified for students. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's not completely right. You know what I mean? There's more to it than just a moral of the story or the life lesson that the author wants you to learn. Sorry. Okay, so a theme doesn't just apply to the characters or the book. It is actually an idea that applies to you, to me, and to everyone else. And the theme is normally universal. Okay, I think the key word here is it is an idea that applies to you, me, and everyone. Okay, and it doesn't just apply to the characters of the book. I think most importantly, it has to apply to you. Now let's take The Lion King. The Disney movie. Let's take that as an example. Now think of the themes of the movie. Okay, let's choose one. So I asked my brother, because he's right next to me. I asked him, what are the themes for Lion King? And he said, family love and responsibility. Courage as well. So if you're thinking along the lines, you are correct. But again, you are not quite right. Because, okay, family love, but what about it? Okay, responsibility, but what about responsibility? You should elaborate. What's your take on responsibility? What did you derive from the movie? So the theme is, one of it at least, is people should live up to their responsibilities because they are needed by the people around them. Okay, so guys, a theme is not the same as the subject. Okay, it's not the same. It's completely different. A subject is a thing. It could be tangible or intangible, like McDonald's or honesty. However, a theme is an opinion. It's your opinion. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at the next slide. Okay, for example, the courage people can show under great pressure. Does it sound like an opinion to you? The courage people can show under great pressure. It doesn't, right? I mean, it's a full sentence. I'll give you that, right? But it doesn't sound like an opinion. It seems lacking. Um, I'd say it's a general statement, but still, it lacks something. Like, what do you mean? Right? So it doesn't sound like an opinion. Um, again, like I said, and this is because it still feels incomplete. So this is not a theme. So if you just say the theme of the novel is courage, it's just a subject and not a theme. For example, if you say that the theme of The Lion King is responsibility, that's a subject, one of the subjects that you can find in Lion King, but it's not a theme. So I know that a lot of you actually do this, but I ask you to dissect a literary work, right? A poem or whatever. When I ask you, what's the theme of this story, short story? And then you would say, love, or treachery, or dishonesty. And I've never really said anything to that because, I still haven't covered this topic with you. But today is a day where you know that that's not a theme, but that's a subject. And theme, it's more than that. Okay? So don't just give general statements. And even when you Google, right? You like to Google, right? What's the theme of this book? And whenever you Google, sometimes you'll get general statements or subjects. Now you know what subject is, right? You'll get subjects as the answer for what is a theme for a book. And, for example, love, again, dishonesty, treachery, and such. And sometimes you get answers that are more detailed, like um, love is painful. Okay? And you would get that, right? So please, 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 please remember, because now you know what it is. It shouldn't be a subject. It should be a theme. It's an opinion. It's your opinion. For example, love. Love. Love is not a theme. It's a subject, right? When you just say love. But when you say love is painful, that's a theme because you are stating your opinion of love. You're saying that love is painful. And so, you got it. That's a theme. But wait a minute, that is not all about theme. There's more to it. You might be thinking, why is it so complicated? Shouldn't theme be simple? Well, it is. Once you understand it, it will be simple. But because you're used to understanding theme in a different way, so it's going to be quite difficult for you to relearn. But it's okay. We're in this together, okay? Let's dive in deeper. Another example. So let's say every time you went through a difficult time, people just seem to pop up to assist you and then, give you support. And so you might say, help will become available even in the unlikeliest situation. So this is something that you learn through observation and your own experience. So you are making a generalization and you're making a statement and you are making a theme based on your own experience. Do you think you understand it better now? So when you read a literary work, the book is a model of the real world. So the author who writes the book wants you to see through his or her eyes, but you are actually seeing the world through his descriptions of the world. Okay? So then, it is you who will make your own generalizations based on your own observations of what was described within the literary work. So that means that there is no wrong answer. As long as you can support it with supporting evidences from the literary work, it should be fine, okay? That will be great. And you will have no problems. And it's also important for you to remember that two separate readers can come to two opposite conclusions. Okay, for example, we're reading a book, right? Me and you. So I say, from reading the book, what I get is that hard work pays off. But then you say that hard work is meaningless as luck is more important. Okay, this is normal. And it's okay. You don't have to feel scared that you don't have the same that you don't share the same opinion as your friend. Whatever it is, it goes back to you. Okay, because it's you who own the meaning and also not the author or the other reader. Okay? And so how do you find the main themes? So these are some of the ways on how you could find the main themes. Hold on. So look at the main character and try to see like what happens to him or her, and does he does he or she change in some way after a certain event happened, and then does he or she change over the course of the book. Okay, for example, if the character has if the character has admirable qualities, then maybe we are encouraged to have those qualities too. But then, if a main character turns into a bad character, then that means it is for us to avoid being that way. So that could be the main theme. Another way to find the main theme is you have to watch for statements of theme. And sometimes it's stated by a character, often found near the end of the book. And it's often about some meaningful conclusion. Could be about mankind or some aspects of life. For example, a character could say, there are ups and downs in life, but we just have to hold on tight. So, what could the theme be? So it could be, to live your life is to embrace the ups and downs it has in store for you. The next pointer would be, look at the title for clues. So sometimes you're able to get hints from the titles. For example, To Kill a Mockingbird and also Pride and Prejudice. Okay, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So this book is about the love story between Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet. It's not only about that, it's also about the 18th century society, and also about the expectations placed on women of the era. But based on the title, and after reading the whole book, you would know that it was Elizabeth Bennet's pride that causes her to misjudge Darcy and is given a wrong first impression. So in the story, Elizabeth, right, she forms a prejudice against Mr. Darcy the first time she encounters him. She overhears him saying that she's not pretty enough to make him dance with her. And so this, coupled with his arrogant behavior at the party, causes her to decide and come to a conclusion basically that he is an arrogant and standoffish man. However, this is not true. I won't reveal what happens after that. One theme that can be derived from Pride and Prejudice would be that pride can cause misjudgment. Okay, do you understand it better now? Okay. Okay, next one. Let's look at the conflict. Okay, sorry. Next pointer would be to look at the conflict. For example, in Moby Dick by Herman Melville, it's a story about a captain of a ship who is obsessed with killing the giant white whale that destroyed his ship and bit off his leg many years ago. So, what do you think the theme is? So, it has to do with man versus nature. Man, because it's about a captain of a ship. Nature, because he was obsessed with killing a giant white whale that destroyed his ship and bit off his leg many years ago. His obsession is totally understandable. But I won't go deep. But I think you have a clear view now. So by looking at the conflict, you know that the team must have something to do with the men's conflict with a massive, uncontrollable force from the natural world, perhaps. Okay, that's it. Now, recap time. So, team is like the moral of the story, it's the message or the meaning. But remember, this is oversimplified. Okay? Team is bigger than just characters in a book or the story itself. It's more universal, and team and subject are not the same thing. Please remember this. Team, subject are not the same thing. Remember, love and love is painful. So, love is subject, love is painful, team. Okay, so team is subjective and it may differ with different people, and literary works may contain many themes, and that the meaning belongs to you, the reader, not the author. Okay, he might have had his own purpose writing the book, but as a reader you also have your own observation and opinion on what he says, on what was read. Okay, and remember that team is an opinion, it's your opinion on something. Next, how to find a team. Look for changes in the main character. Keep your eyes wide open and watch for meaningful statements made by characters. Also, examine the title of the book and look at the conflicts within the book or the story. And so, you may ask, Miss Alya, why do we need to find themes? Why? Because when we make meaning from literature, we are enhancing our skills because we're observing and then we're assessing. And then from assessing, we make conclusions of a situation. So then this also allows you to learn from experiences that you may not experience yourself. And in turn, you apply that wisdom into your own life. And that is very beneficial. It also teaches you to be more humane because you try to empathize, you try to understand what a character was going through, especially when you yourself may not have experienced that. On top of that, this is also a good exercise for the mind as it makes us more observant and a better thinker. And most importantly, a better human. Okay? And so that is all for today. Now head on to the Telegram group and we will be discussing, okay, on things. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Toodles.